Hello, so I'm just about to give you a really quick whistle-stop tour of Behaviour Smart Plus. And if you want more details on some of the features that I talk about, we're in the process of creating detailed videos on each new feature. So first of all, we're going to start off on the dashboard. On the dashboard, you've got incidents I'm collaborating on, and that's because we've introduced collaborative incident reports. So the way it works is a member of staff will write an incident report, tag someone in that incident report, they will receive an email giving them a link to come and add their information to the incident report. I'll show you that in a moment. Record and plan, first of all. With record and plan, the first thing you do is select the student you want to record and plan on. So we'll select Elon Musk here, and you can see that this has changed quite significantly. We've got, first of all, the behavior clicker. Now, the behavior clicker is a quick way to record those behaviors that you see very regularly. So if we look at our service setup page, we've got the behavior clicker here. We just add our own information into there. So when we go on to our student, excuse me, the behavior clicker, these behaviors appear here. So for example, if Elon Musk has been nipping 5 times today, then we just click this little button 5 times, and that's now recorded. We can then analyze that data. So that's the behavior clicker. Some schools use C1, C2, C3. If we've given a student a C1, we just click C1 and that's then recorded. When we look at recording incidents, there are now 3 different ways to record incidents. We've got a behavior log. This records positive and negative behavior. We've got an incident report for low-level incidents that did not include physical intervention, and then we've got our physical intervention incident report. So we're going to start off by looking at the behavior log, and the way that works is we select, is it a positive behavior or a negative behavior that we want to record? So we're going to record a positive behavior, and Tony Whittle is the member of staff that's recorded the behavior, and she's saying Elon did well in IT today. She then clicks save. Now, because I'm the behavior lead for this service, I will then receive an email to say that a log's been recorded. I click on a link in the email and that brings me through to this page where I can see what the log is, and then I can proceed and record an action. So I'll select my name from the list here and I'll say, let him play with the Tesla for 10 minutes. Now I click save. Tony receives an email, says an action's been recorded. She clicks on a link in the email. It brings her through to this page where she can see what the action is. Now either myself or Tony can also click this box here, and that information will now be added to Elon Musk's behavior plan. So that is the behavior log. We'll use somebody different. Axel Rose. Okay, so that's the behavior log. Incident report. This is for an incident that did not involve physical intervention. Obviously, if incidents involve physical intervention and restrictive physical intervention, there are legal implications. So this report isn't really suitable for that. So I'm going to record an incident and I'm going to select a member of staff. Now, when I select a member of staff, Tony, who I've just selected, will now receive an email telling her that she's been invited to collaborate on an incident report. All I do here is write the details of my incident. So Axel threw a chair at the audience in his gig last night. Now, once I've written my incident report, I click next page. I've obviously got my post-incident learning, because we believe that post-incident learning should be followed, should follow every incident. So here, what happened from his point of view? How did it make him feel? We've added assault on staff in here as well. And when I click next page, I can submit the report, go to the Smart Plan Builder, or get AI support. I'll come back to that in a moment. Now, the only thing that's changed on the full incident report, and you'll see this on the smaller incident report as well, is when I select a member of staff here, allow staff to collaborate on this report, and staff can, so it's preset to yes, but they can say no if they don't want the member of staff to collaborate on that report. So that's how we record incidents on Behaviour Smart Plus. One of the big changes to Behaviour Smart, and something we're really proud of, is our insights. So these are AI insights. So now we can get information on a single incident, an entire student, or your entire service. So we'll look at the student, and we just select the student from here, and we've got a number of options. So we've got Bob Dylan here, and what we want to do is we want to create a risk assessment for Bob Dylan. So we just click that button there. It's now reading every single incident report that's been written on Bob Dylan to create a risk assessment. So it does take a little bit of time, but it's a lot quicker than any human could do it. So there we go. There's a risk assessment for Bob Dylan. But we've got a number of options. So what are Bob Dylan's most common triggers? There we are. We want to set some goals for Bob Dylan. And we've set some goals. All this information can be copied and pasted. When we're looking at incident support, we might want to say, how can we best support this individual's low-level behaviours? And again, it's reading all the incident reports that's ever been written on that student and come up with some ideas for how we can best support the low-level behaviours. When we're looking at post-incident learning, we might want to send a letter to Bob Dylan's parents every week. So draft an informal letter based on incidents in the last week. And again, if there's been any incidents in the last week, it will write a letter for the parents. There we go. We can look at behaviour patterns. See if we can see any behaviour patterns. There's a whole range of information on here of support. You know, what does this individual do well? And again, we just click the button, let the AI do its stuff. And Bob demonstrates the ability to express emotions such as laughing and crying, which can be positive indicators of emotional awareness. Now we've also added two new buttons on here. This one is to report any inaccurate information. This one is to make a suggestion, for you to make a suggestion of what you would like to see on here. So that is the insights for the student. Now the insights for the service, this is where it really gets interesting, is we can ask Behaviour Smart to do a variety of things. So for example, we want to create a 6-hour course based on our incidents. Now, what Behaviour Smart is now doing is the AI section of Behaviour Smart is reading every single incident report, every log, every behaviour plan. And with that information, it's going to look for what staff are good at and where staff need extra support. And it's going to give us a course programme that we can run with our staff that's really specific to our needs. Now, because it's reading somewhere in the region, in this case of, I don't know, probably 800, 900 incident reports, it does take a little bit of time, but there we go. And we've got our course program. So from 9 o'clock to 9:15, we're going to do an introduction. 9:15 to 9:45, understanding behaviour. We're going to have a break at 10:30. 10:45, we're going to look at the implementation of smart plans. Break, post-incident learning, developing resilience, and there's some presentation instructions for you there. But we can also do a lot more. We can get information for our SEF, work out what do we do well as a school or as a children's zone. What do we do well? And again, it's reading all the incident reports and then it's going to highlight what staff are doing well and where they need extra support. So we're good at de-escalation techniques. We're good at physical techniques, dynamic risk assessments. And again, you can make a suggestion or report any inaccurate information. Now the analytics in Behaviour Smart, we've now got several other reports. This report, the Global Incident Report, will obviously, that will give us all the information based on everything that we put in the system. But the new ones, the log report, this will give us a record of the logs. So how many logs, how many students, the log summary. Got 7 positive ones, I haven't done any negative ones, and the student summary. We've got a clicker report. This will tell us how many incidents of kicking, nipping, all those things that we put in the quick record and which students they're involved in. And we've got our discriminatory and prejudicial behaviours report. Okay, so that's a very, very quick overview of Behaviour Smart Plus, and on your dashboard in the next few weeks you're going to see detailed videos on how to use Behaviour Smart Plus. I will just show you actually when we go to the analytics, the quick search function. Not a lot of people are using this, but what we can do is we can create a detailed search. We can add some more criteria. And we can add as much criteria as we want to this. Now, when we add that to a quick search, we'll give it a name. We'll call it All Fighting. And we'll save it. Now, what we can do now, once that quick search has now been saved, we can bring up the quick search, and what we can do is now return that search. So that comes up there. So if I go to Spring 25 and return the search is here. So we can edit that, we can take things out and we can add things in. So that's it. That's a quick overview of Behaviour Smart Plus. Hope you like it. Please get in touch if you need anything.